questions of the participants.
Yeah, sure. So participants, just raise your hands if you want to ask the questions. Otherwise, I have many questions to ask. So Madhukumar Garu, are you ready? Yeah, Srinivas Garu, please go ahead. Srinivas Garu. Srinivas Garu. Just unmute yourself, sir.
Hello. Hello.
Sir, please.
Hello. Oh, okay.
Hello.
Okay. Good afternoon, Dr. Henry. Is it possible to clear or remove space debris?
Yes. So space debris, the Earth gets hit by maybe 50 tons of material a day, much of which is debris from various parts of space. Most of this debris is actually rocks and sand and asteroids, which have been in space since the solar system was formed. And that's what causes shooting stars. Other space debris is from rockets and from spacecraft and from satellites around the, going in orbit around the Earth. And some of this will fall back to Earth as well. And so it's definitely a problem that we want to be aware of. When a spacecraft is finished its life, when a satellite is finished or when a satellite has broken, we want to be able to bring it down so that the debris from it doesn't collide with other spacecraft. Eventually, all debris will come down because there's friction in space from the air and from the force from the sun. So that brings it all down eventually. But sometimes we want to bring it down faster.
What are the steps to be taken to clear the space junk? I mean, is it possible?
The steps to be taken, it's very difficult to remove it. The most important thing is to not put it there in the first place.
Okay, thank you. One more question, please. I have one more question. Sir,
yes.
As per the scientists' observation, Apophis asteroid is coming nearer to Earth on 13th April 2029. Is there any strategy to avoid hitting of our home planet?
Yes, so the asteroid Apophis will come near to the Earth in the year 2029. However, it will not come close enough to hit the Earth. It will still be many, I forget the distance, but it will be many times further away than necessary to hit the Earth. And so we will perhaps study this asteroid with telescopes and with spacecraft, perhaps with the OSIRIS-REx spacecraft, to study it and to see what asteroids look like. But it will not come close enough to be dangerous to the Earth.
Okay, thank you. Can we observe a supernova of Betelgeuse with naked eyes?
Yes, some supernova have been detected with naked eye. A supernova is a star, which is a normal star, and then it has an explosion, and so it goes. So it goes like this, and then the star becomes very bright and emits a lot of energy. Supernovas are quite rare. Maybe you can see one from the Earth. Maybe every 100 years, you can see one that is bright enough to be naked eye. So you just have to wait long enough and then you will be able to see one. We also see them with telescopes, but with telescopes, they are much fainter.
Okay, thank you, Henry sir.
Thank you.
Srinivas Garu, I will come back to you one more time.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Let me involve the other participants.
Okay,
Madhukumar
sir.
Madhukumar Garu, get ready for your question, sir. Madhukumar Garu.
Sir, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, sir.
Hello.
Sir?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Hi. It's very. There is. I have no questions, sir. Hare Krishna, call someone.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sivanageshwara Garu, it's your turn, sir. Sivanageshwara Garu, are you able to hear me? Yes, please.
Good afternoon, Henry sir.
పెద్దగా చెప్పు.
Good afternoon, Henry sir.
Hello, hello. How are you?
I am fine, sir. Thank you, sir.
చెప్పు క్వశ్చన్.
Can we make our moon habitable, sir?
Sir, can we make our moon habitable, sir?
It is very difficult to make the moon habitable because there is no atmosphere. And the reason why there's no atmosphere is the gravity of the moon is very small. And so if you put an atmosphere there, it just floats away. And so the only way to make the moon habitable is to keep the atmosphere there. And to keep the atmosphere, you need a building, a structure, or a ceiling to keep the atmosphere in. So it's very difficult. You could do it, but it would cost, many crore to build such a structure. And so it is easier to live on the Earth than to live on the moon.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
So next, can anybody ask the questions? So here I have a question, Henry. Elon Musk, actually SpaceX is planning to send the humans to the red planet. So how far you think it is going to be successful?
So it is a long-term goal of NASA and of SpaceX and of other groups to send humans to Mars. It is still very difficult. It requires a lot of money, but we have the technology to do this. It's not a question of technology because we have the spacecraft, we have the rockets. We know about Mars, we know about the surface of Mars, but it's very, very expensive to go to Mars. Elon Musk has lots of money. He's very interested in doing this. Perhaps he will do this in the next 20 years. It's very hard, but I know that it can be done. One of the movies that I really liked was The Martian. The Martian is a movie about sending an astronaut to Mars and then leaving him behind when he explored the surface of Mars. And he survives on the surface of Mars for many months. And I like this movie because most of it was not really science fiction. Most of it was really more about science and about what we could do now using almost the same technology that we have now. So first, we're going to send humans back to the moon. And with what we learn there and what we develop there, then we can use much of that same technology to send humans onward to Mars.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I have one more question. What is a tesseract?
Tesseract is something which was invented. It's a word which is, I think, from the book called A Wrinkle in Time by Madeleine L'Engle. This is kind of the same as a wormhole. A wormhole is something in cosmology where if you go from here to here, you can travel through space going through a wormhole. A wormhole is something which is an idea. We have never found a wormhole. It is possible that there might be wormholes in space, but we don't really know.
Okay, thank you. And let's go back to the Srinivas Garu. Srinivas Garu, are you ready? Srinivas Garu.
Sir,
Yeah.
Mr. Henry sir, can James Webb telescope find life on exoplanets like Proxima Centauri b?
So we are using many telescopes to try to find planets that might have life. It's very difficult to search for planets a long way away because they are very difficult to see. The best planets to search for life are the planets in our solar system, planets and moons. So that means looking on Mars, looking on the moons of Jupiter, like Europa, and like Titan, yes, Titan, and like Enceladus. And so we have looked at these with telescopes. We've also looked at these, we've visited Mars and Titan and Europa with spacecraft, and we want to visit them with spacecraft again. So NASA is working on spacecraft to go to, more spacecraft to go to Mars, and then more spacecraft to go to Europa as well. And that's our best bet for looking for life inside the solar system. Also, there's a spacecraft to go to Titan. Titan will have essentially a quadcopter, a drone, to go to Titan and search for chemistry and perhaps life on Titan.
Yeah, thank you. Sir, what is the demarcation of heliosphere and heliopause?
So the heliopause is where the influence of the sun stops. And so that's essentially the magnetic field or the solar wind from the sun. And so if you go outward from the sun, you have the planets, you have Earth, Venus, or Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, and so forth. And you go further and further out. And then the sun's magnetic field slows down, and magnetic field from space gets stronger. And this area is around where the heliopause is. Now, that doesn't mean that you're to the next planets. If you want to go to the next planet, the next stellar system, you have to go all the way over here to Alpha Centauri or Proxima Centauri, which is the next stellar system, next planetary system. And that's a long way away. That's much, much further than the heliopause.
Sir, Oort cloud is the part of our solar system, or that is a different one?
Yes, the Oort cloud is in our solar system. And the Oort cloud is beyond the heliopause. And that's where the small bodies that make comets come from. And so there are many, many thousands or millions of small bodies which are in the Oort cloud, which is very cold and frozen. And that's where the comets come from.
Okay,
also in our
thank you.
solar
Thanks.
system.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. You have given a lot of knowledge today. I have learned.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Okay, next, I think, yes, Nageswara Garu, would you like to ask one more question?
Hello. Oh, you're muted. I can't hear you.
Yeah. Nageswara Garu.
Please unmute.
Nageswara Garu, you can. Yes.
Good afternoon, Henry sir. My name is Lakshmi Prista. I am studying 8th class in ZPHS. My question is, what is the aim of NASA's Artemis mission?
So the Artemis mission is a NASA mission to send humans back to the moon. And so we have sent humans to the moon with the Apollo mission back in 1969 and the So the Artemis mission is NASA's mission to go to the moon. We have done this with the Apollo mission in 1960s and 1970s. And now we will do this again using the Artemis mission. And so the Artemis mission is a newer version of the Apollo, Saturn V, and the moon system. And so it will send women and men to the moon for the first time in 50 years. And then what we learn from going to the moon will be used to go to Mars later. And so we are developing, NASA is developing the Artemis mission now, the spacecraft, the landers, the rockets, and so forth. And so we hope to land on the moon within the next couple of years, perhaps within the next 5 years.
Next. Suresh Gar. Suresh Gar, do you have any question? Suresh Gar.
Yes, sir.
Yes, please go ahead, sir.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Hello.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Suresh Garu, go ahead. Suresh Garu, ask your question. Suresh Garu.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Sir, am I audible, sir?
Yes, it's audible, sir. Go ahead and ask the question.
Okay, sir. First of all, these are my students, sir. Good morning, sir.
Hello,
Sir,
hello,
my
class.
student,
Hello, class.
These are from 10th standard, sir. I am very new to this program. First of all, I am thankful to you, sir, Henry, sir, at the same time, Hari Krishna, sir. And my question is, this is Chendu, sir. You please. Please, Chandu.
Good morning, sir.
Wait. Chandu. Yes.
Good morning, sir.
See.
Hello.
Good morning, sir.
So go ahead, Ma.
Hello, how are you?
Question.
Question, please.
How much time will it take to create habitation on Moon?
Well, it's very difficult to live on the moon, to create habitation on the moon, because the moon does not have atmosphere. And so it doesn't have oxygen to breathe. It doesn't have oxygen. It doesn't have the air. It doesn't have the nitrogen. And so it's very, very difficult to live on the moon. So instead, if you live on the moon, you need to take your own oxygen. Just like divers take a tank of oxygen, you need to take a tank of oxygen to live on the moon. So it's very difficult to do this. And all of the Mars is the same way. Venus has an atmosphere, but it's not like the atmosphere here. In fact, it's very difficult to live anywhere without an atmosphere. So for living, the Earth is the best place. For exploring, if you take your own oxygen with you, then we can explore many of the planets.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So let's go to the other participants. So teachers, do you have Aruna Garu, do you have any question from your side? Aruna Garu, I am trying to unmute yourself. Please respond.
No, sir, thank you.
Okay. Next, Srinivas Garu, do you have any questions? Still, do you have any questions? Okay. Henry, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Does black hole lead to another universe?
We do not think that black holes lead to another universe. There is just one universe. The universe has everything in it. And so all of the planets, all of the stars, all of the galaxies, all of the black holes are in one universe. There may be many, many black holes in our universe. There's no black holes in our solar system. Our solar system is the planets. Everything that we can see, all the planets, is our solar system. All of the stars that we can see are our galaxy. There are probably many, many black holes in our galaxy, but we've never been there because we've never been beyond the solar system. But we can see evidence of the black holes. We can't see the black holes themselves because they don't give off light, but we can see the evidence of them and how they bend light that goes around them or how they pull things into them. We can see the evidence for the black holes in our solar system. In our galaxy.
So in order to develop the scientific temper among the students, whether it is India or elsewhere in the country, elsewhere in the world. So what do you think the science teachers, especially the physical science teachers, should do in their classroom?
I think the most important thing is that teachers should have students ask questions, be curious. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to break things. It's okay to ask questions that the teachers don't know the answer to, because by doing this, then both the teacher and the student learns. So you should read a lot and work hard, but also ask questions, read many books, find out sometimes one book says one thing and another book says one thing else, and then Wikipedia says something else, another web page says something else, and you should compare these and see how they say the same thing, see how they say different things. Learn a lot, ask a lot of questions, be curious, and keep exploring the world around you.
So I think one more school is waiting for us. Boys High School, Dugirala. Boys High School, Dugirala. Do you have any questions from your side? Yes, please respond. Boys High School, Dugirala. Respond, please. Do you have any questions? So it seems that they are not responding. So Henry, before I wind up this session, thank you so much for your valuable time. Here is a question In order to actually, I have a dream of sending some of the students to NASA in order to experience what exactly how the rocket space. I mean, yes. Dugrala voice, please respond.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Sir, in this universe, is there any chance of being aliens?
Is this universe, is there any chance of meeting aliens? We hope so. We keep looking for aliens. We keep looking for life elsewhere in the universe. And we keep looking for life in our solar system, and we keep looking for life elsewhere in other solar systems. We haven't found any yet. We've never found any life. We've only found life on the Earth. And we found life all over the Earth, tops of mountains and bottoms of valleys and bottom of the ocean. Everywhere on Earth, there's life. But we keep looking for life elsewhere in the solar system. We've never found any life on Mars yet. We've never found any life on Venus. We've never found any life on Saturn. But maybe there will be. Maybe there will be life on Europa, which is the moon of Jupiter. Maybe there will be life on Titan, which is the moon of Saturn. Maybe there'll be life on Enceladus. Maybe there's life on Mars, but it's just hidden deep, deep, deep below the surface. Maybe there's life on, probably not the moon, because the moon is has no atmosphere, but perhaps on Venus. Some people think in the clouds of Venus, there might be life. We've never found it, but we keep looking for it. So I think there will be life somewhere out there, and maybe in the next 20 or 30 years, we'll find it. I'm really excited to keep looking for it, and I hope that you can play a part in searching for life. I know that ISRO is very interested in searching for life throughout the solar system as well. ISRO has missions to Mars, has missions to the moon, perhaps we'll have a mission to Venus. All these places are very, very interesting. And ISRO will be using all of the skill and expertise of the students in India, the engineers and the scientists and the IT people and the writers and the educators and the teachers. Everybody in India can contribute to these missions that ISRO has planned, and I think we'll make great progress to exploring the solar system and looking for the origins of life.
So Henry, coming back to my question, so is it possible to send some of the students from India to experience the space activities? I mean at NASA.
Yes, so NASA has several visitor centers. NASA has a visitor center at the Kennedy Space Center, which is where the it's where many of the rocket launches happen from. It's where the space shuttle was. It's where the Apollo missions launched from, and it's where the Artemis mission will launch from. It's in Florida. It's in Cape Canaveral, Florida. And there are essentially a large museum and it's a large area, and you can go on a bus to tour the whole area, and you can stay and watch a launch if there's a launch. There's not a launch every day, but maybe once every month there's a launch. And I have seen launches from there. It's extremely exciting. I saw the NASA New Horizons mission go to Pluto. I saw the Mars Curiosity rover go to Mars from there. The launch was 10 years ago last week, so that was really exciting. And so there are certainly many, many chances that Indian students can go there. Anybody can show up. This is open to anybody. If you fly to Florida and you drive to NASA, it's near Orlando, Florida, and you can drive there, and anybody can see the tour of NASA. Anybody can go, and you can see the old Saturn V rockets. You can see all of the old rockets which NASA has used. You can see the buildings where the NASA rockets are being assembled and built. You can see the launch pads where they launch into space. And if you do it at the right day, then you can see a launch as well. So it's really neat, and I hope that people can do that. I also hope that people can continue to be involved in science, be involved in technology, be involved in coding, be involved in math, and be involved in exploring the world and being curious, asking questions, and finishing your education, going to college. The best way to work with NASA is to go to college, go to university, study science or math or engineering. You can do that in India. You can do that in other countries abroad, and continue to do that. And then there are so many chances for people to work with NASA or work with ISRO or work with other groups in exploring the universe.
Yeah, thank you. Srinivas Garu, so do you have any question?
Sir.
Srinivas Garu.
I have.
Yes, please, sir.
I have one more question, sir. Please suggest me telescopes for beginners, and before that, what is singularity?
So a singularity is the same as black hole. It's where it's something which is really, really small with a lot of mass. Right there, a singularity. For telescopes, I have several telescopes which are nice to see the stars, nice to see the planets. There are many telescopes which are very simple. You can see a telescope that will show you the planets, which is really nice. A telescope with a mirror about 6 inches across or so, 6 or 8 inches across, will show you the planets. It will show the rings of Saturn. It will show the moons of Jupiter. And you can get these, you can get a pretty simple telescope. It's called a Dobsonian telescope. That starts with D-O-B, Dobsonian. That's not a brand, but that's a style of telescope. But that just means a very simple telescope that you can point at the sky, and you can see the rings of Saturn. You can see the moons of Jupiter. You can see the craters on the moon from anywhere on Earth, including India. So this is not a complex telescope. It doesn't have computers and electronics, but any student can use it. Any teacher can use it. And it's really neat to be able to explore the solar system this way.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir.
My dear participants, we have 9 minutes time is left. So Suresh Garu students. Suresh Garu. Yes.
Hello, sir.
Suresh Garu. Yes.
Sir.
Yes.
Yes.
My student will ask the questions, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Hello.
Sir, my question is our galaxy moving?
Yes. Yes, our galaxy is moving. Our galaxy is so we live in the solar system, and then the solar system has one star. And then if you take 100 billion stars and put all those stars together, that makes the galaxy, which is the Milky Way galaxy. The Milky Way galaxy is spiraling around. It's turning around like this, but it's turning around very, very slowly. Maybe it takes 1 billion years for the Milky Way galaxy to spin around one time. So it is moving, but too slow for you to see it. What we do see is the Earth is spinning, and the Earth is spinning every day. We see that motion because you see the sun and the moon and the stars rise and set every day. That's because of the Earth spinning. But then the galaxy is spinning. You could stay on the Earth for 1 crore years, then you would see the motions of the galaxy moving as well in 1 crore years.
Why is high school Dugrala?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Another question from my student, sir. Can you please give me permission?
Sir, I will come back to you. Dugrala students are waiting. Okay, please go ahead.
Okay, sir.
Why is high school Dugrala? Please go ahead.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Good afternoon. Sir, what happened when we enter black hole?
If you enter a black hole, you get torn apart. Black hole gravity is too high, and so everything which enters a black hole cannot escape. and gets pulled apart by gravity and gets hot because it's very hot inside a black hole. Eventually you would die very quickly inside a black hole if you went inside a black hole. So nothing that goes inside a black hole can ever come out.
Sir, I have another doubt.
What is it?
Sir, is time travel possible?
Is what possible? Please say again.
No. Is time travel possible?
Is time travel possible? We do not know how to travel backwards in time. We know how to travel forwards in time. If you get in a spacecraft and you go fast enough toward the speed of light, you essentially travel forwards in time. But we don't know how to travel backwards in time at all. Maybe it's possible to travel backwards in time, or maybe it's not possible at all because the laws of physics don't allow traveling backwards in time.
Suresh garu. Suresh garu. Suresh garu.
No, sir.
Yes. Suresh
When
garu.
does the black hole evolve into supermassive black hole?
So Dugirala boys, I will come back to you. Suresh garu, please go ahead.
Sir, when does the evolve?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, no problem.
Hi, sir.
See you.
Hi, sir. Good morning.
Hello, please go ahead.
My question is there any relationship with time and space?
Yes, time and space are very related. If we look at things which are a long way away, we are looking at things that are very old, and that's because their light has not gotten to us. However, inside our solar system, time and space are very different because inside our solar system, the light travel time, it only takes, for light to get from the sun to us, only takes about 7 minutes. So if you look at the sun, you go back in time, but you only go back in time 7 minutes. 7 minutes, that was very recent. So you don't go back in time very much inside our solar system. But if you look at things which are a long, long, long way away, for instance, very, very distant galaxies, then you go back in time to look at them.
Thank you.
Thank you, good question.
So Dugirala boys. Dugirala boys, do you have any questions still? Yes, please go ahead. Only 4 minutes time is left.
Sir, how does the Saturn get its rings?
That's a great question with how does Saturn get its rings. So Saturn got its rings because Saturn had 2 moons going around it. And the 2 moons going around Saturn, they crashed into each other and they broke up, and so they made 4 moons. And those 4 moons crashed into each other and they broke up and they made 8 moons. And these 8 moons crashed in and made up 16 moons. And so you had this moons crashing into each other over and over and over and over again, and it made dust. It made, many crore pieces of dust. And these dust pieces are very small, maybe this big. And if you have enough dust, and it's flat, then it looks like a ring. And so that's how Saturn got its rings.
Sir, according to you, which is the most beautiful planet in the solar system?
I'm sorry, say again.
According to you, which is the most beautiful planet in the solar system?
I think Saturn is the most beautiful planet in the solar system because I love the rings going around Saturn.
3 minutes more, 3 minutes more. We have to wind up the session. 2 minutes. Any more questions, please? Garu, do you still have any question? So only 2 minutes. Time is ticking.
Sir, how does the star evolve?
How does a star evolve? A star evolves because it has chemistry inside the star, and it has nuclear fusion, which turns hydrogen into helium, and then the helium into carbon and oxygen and lithium and iron and all the other elements. And that's because the inside of a star is very high pressure. It's high pressure and high temperature, and that changes the elements that are in there. So that one element becomes a different element, and it gives off energy. And that's the energy that we see as coming as light from the star.
Sir, how many types of microbes are there?
There are many, many different kinds of microbes on Earth, many different kinds of life on Earth, and we don't know what kind of life is on the solar system yet. Is there another question from the other school?
Sir, what will happen if it rotates in light speed?
What is it again? Tell me again, please.
What would happen if the Earth rotates in the speed of light?
Oh, what would happen if the Earth speeds up? That's a good question. I don't know. So right now the Earth spins every 24 hours. The Earth spins. Maybe it could, in the past, so long time ago, Earth spun not every 24 hours, but every 10 hours, every 10 hours, every 12 hours. And the Earth is slowing down. So now it spins every 24 hours, but soon it will be every 25 hours, 26 hours, 27 hours. In millions or billions of years, it will slow down. And it would be okay. All of the laws of physics would be the same. The Earth will be fine if it slows down. If it goes faster or if it goes slower, the Earth is fine. We just have to change our sleep patterns. The weather would change, but it would be okay.
Thank you so much, Henry, for your time. Time is almost up. So thank you so much, all the participants. Everybody for your participation. See you soon. Thank you so much, Henry.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, all of the students, all the learners, all the teachers. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure talking with you.